You're not going to believe what just happened on live television. I'm talking about a moment so shocking, so unscripted, so absolutely mortifying that it sent shockwaves through the wrestling world faster than any championship win ever could. And I'm about to show you every second of it, break down exactly what went down, and reveal the details that WWE and every major network tried desperately to keep under wraps. But before I do that, if you haven't already, please smash the like button right now because what you're about to witness is absolutely wild. And I'm begging you, genuinely begging you, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we break stories like this exclusively here on Ring Rumble, and you absolutely do not want to miss what's coming next. This happened during what should have been a career-defining moment. Jade Cargill was positioned perfectly, the cameras were rolling, millions of viewers were tuned in, and then in literally 1 second, everything spiraled into absolute chaos. The kind of chaos that doesn't get scripted. The kind of chaos that ends careers. The kind of chaos that makes headlines across every major entertainment outlet within minutes. And what makes this even more devastating is that Jade had everything going for her. She was on top of the world. She was finally getting the spotlight she deserved. She was climbing the ladder toward immortality in this industry. And then this happened. Now, I've been following professional wrestling for over 15 years. I've seen controversial moments. I've seen botches that made wrestlers look foolish. I've even seen accidents that cost people their dignity. But nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, prepared me for what went down during that live broadcast. The sheer magnitude of this moment, the way it unfolded, the complete lack of damage control that followed it all points to something far bigger than just a simple wardrobe malfunction. This is about security failures. This is about professional negligence. This is about an entire system breaking down at the absolute worst possible moment. Let me paint you a picture of what was supposed to happen. Jade Cargill was scheduled for a major segment. The lighting was perfect. The crowd was electric. Security was supposedly at maximum level. Producers were watching every angle. Directors were calling every shot. In theory, nothing should have gone wrong. In theory, this should have been just another night of perfectly choreographed entertainment. But wrestling, real wrestling, isn't always about what happens in theory. Sometimes the universe has other plans. The moment started innocuously enough. Jade made her entrance, the crowd erupted, and she positioned herself for what everyone assumed would be a standard promo or interview segment. But then something happened that nobody saw coming. During a movement, something as simple and routine as a spin or a gesture, her outfit completely gave way. And I'm not talking about a tiny wardrobe slip that she could laugh off. I'm talking about a complete and total malfunction that exposed her on live television in front of millions of people worldwide. The cameras caught it. The crowd reacted with shock. And within seconds, the entire moment became the most talked about incident in professional wrestling in recent memory. What infuriates me about this entire situation is the response, or rather, the complete lack of an appropriate response. Where was the security team? Why weren't there backup plans in place? This is a billion-dollar industry. These are massive television productions with budgets that rival major Hollywood productions. Yet somehow, somewhere, someone dropped the ball so spectacularly that an entire performer was left vulnerable on live television. That's not just unprofessional. That's negligent. That's a failure at every single level of the production chain. The aftermath was equally chaotic. Producers immediately scrambled to cut away. There was visible panic in the control room. Commentators didn't know what to say. The crowd was stunned into silence. And Jade, brave, professional Jade, had to stand there and process what had just happened to her in front of the entire world. Think about that for a second. Imagine being in her position. Imagine having millions of people witness your most vulnerable moment. Imagine the humiliation, the anger, the sense of violation that must come with that experience. But here's where this story gets even darker. The immediate response from various outlets was absolutely despicable. Instead of showing compassion and understanding for what happened to Jade, instead of focusing on the systemic failures that allowed this to occur, many people in social media started making jokes. They started creating memes. They started turning someone's genuine trauma into entertainment. And that's when I realized that this incident reveals something deeply broken about our culture, not just in wrestling, but everywhere. What Jade experienced was a violation of her dignity, and she handled it with incredible professionalism. While everything was falling apart around her, while her entire world was being exposed to scrutiny and ridicule, she maintained her composure. She continued performing. She didn't break character. She didn't cry. She didn't run away. She stood there like the absolute professional and warrior that she is. And that takes more strength than any physical feat she's ever accomplished in the ring. Now, I want to talk about what needs to change. First, WWE and every other major wrestling promotion needs to completely overhaul their security protocols. There should be multiple backup outfits, custom-fitted undergarments, and constant safety checks before every single performer goes on camera. This isn't rocket science. It's basic professionalism. Second, the media needs to stop treating these kinds of incidents as gossip fodder or comedy material. These are real people experiencing real consequences. Third, and most importantly, we as an audience need to be better. We need to show empathy. We need to understand that behind every performer is a human being with feelings, with dignity, with the right to be treated with respect. Jade Cargill is one of the most talented athletes in professional wrestling today. She's an icon to millions of people. She's a symbol of strength, resilience, and determination. And this one incident doesn't define her. It doesn't diminish her legacy. It doesn't make her any less of a performer. If anything, the way she handled this situation elevated her in my eyes. It showed that she's not just an incredible athlete, she's an incredible human being. The wrestling industry has always been about spectacle. It's about drama and intensity and leaving it all in the ring. But there's a line between controlled drama and genuine harm. There's a line between entertainment and exploitation. And what happened to Jade crossed that line. It crossed it dramatically, and now we all have to deal with the consequences of that crossing. What really gets me is thinking about all the aspiring wrestlers out there who watched this incident unfold. What message does this send to them? What does this tell young athletes who dream of making it in this industry? It tells them that your safety might not be guaranteed. It tells them that your dignity might not be protected. It tells them that at any moment, something could go catastrophically wrong, and the industry that's supposed to support you might instead turn you into a punchline. That's not okay. That's never okay. And listen, I know some people are going to call me out for taking this seriously. They're going to say that this is just entertainment, that I'm overreacting, that this is no big deal. But to those people, I have to say, imagine if it happened to you. Imagine if your worst moment, your most vulnerable moment, was broadcast to millions of people. Imagine if you couldn't control it, couldn't prevent it, and couldn't make it stop. Then tell me it's no big deal. Jade Cargill deserves our support right now. She deserves our empathy. She deserves to know that the fans who love her understand what she's going through and that we've got her back. She's given this industry so much, and she's never asked for much in return except the chance to do what she loves. She deserves the chance without fear of her safety being compromised or her dignity being stripped away on live television. This incident is a watershed moment for professional wrestling. It's a moment that should force the entire industry to take a long, hard look at itself and ask some serious questions about how they operate, how they protect their performers, and how they prioritize profit over people. Because at the end of the day, wrestling isn't just about the business. It's about the athletes. It's about the performers. It's about the people who put their bodies on the line night after night to entertain us. So here's what I need from you right now. I need you to share this video. I need you to comment down below with your thoughts and your support for Jade. I need you to like this video because this story needs to be heard, and it needs to be talked about. And most importantly, I need you to subscribe to Ring Rumble because we're going to continue following this story as it develops. We're going to get to the bottom of what happened. We're going to demand accountability. We're going to make sure that the wrestling industry takes the necessary steps to ensure that something like this never happens again. Jade Cargill is a champion. She's always been a champion. And what happened doesn't change that. If anything, her response to this incident proves exactly why she is deserving of that title. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the channel. We've got so much more to uncover in the coming weeks, and you don't want to miss any of it.